Hi guys, I'm back. I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. Mariner Star, part 15. Had to take a break from part 14, so this is now part 15. Each video is just a new number, so I'm back. Don't forget, if you're new to my channel, head down there, hit that subscribe button, and like, share, and all that. So I'm working on the borders. I got my pieces cut. I just need to trim them down. Really just having a bad day, but I have to get this done. So now what I'm going to do, now that I've cut my 12 pieces off of here, which I need to cut 12 more in just a minute, but I'm going to put it aside for a second, and I am going to trim all these off and connect them end to end. I'm just going to trim all the salvages off. Just cut a few at a time. Like I was saying in the last video, when you're building a border around a piece stretchy border, you want to cut straight lines on the border. You just want to cut it nice and flush, because you're going to use this border as stabilization for the second part of it on both sides. So you want to keep it from stretching. And if you connect, like some people connect their borders with the 45-degree angle, like as if you were doing binding, that's not going to help. It's going to stretch. You don't want that stretch. So you definitely should connect them with straight cuts and straight seams. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut all these salvages off, and then I'm going to connect them end to end. I'm going to connect 3, 3, and 3. That way everything will be connected nice and flush. And if I'm working slower, that is because my belly is starting to hurt more and more. And I know you guys are going to say you will understand if I don't do this, but my brain is telling me I have to get it done. There's no, I just can't ignore it. I have to just finish this thing. So just going to go ahead and stack all these. I'm just going to grab this ruler. I'm going to lay it on here, and I'm going to cut all these salvages off on a nice straight line, all at the same time, just like that. So the salvage is gone, don't need it. You go ahead and move these out of the way and sew these in sets of 3. Hi, Billy. Hi, Vicky. So I'm just going to grab 3, and then I'll just grab 3 more, and grab 3 more, and hook them together in sets of 3. And when I say a straight line, I'm literally just putting them right sides together, making sure it's right sides, because this is a print on print. And it's hard to tell. That's the right side, and that's the right side. Okay. I'm just hooking them end to end on the straight instead of a 45-degree angle. I know a lot of people make borders on 45-degree angles. I do not do that, especially for this. So I'm going to pull it up to me, same as any other way. Right sides together. Like I said, I'm just hooking 3, 3, 3, 3. So there's 3 out of the way. And so far I have not pressed anything. I will press when I get the borders made. I should know which way is right side up, obviously, because of my little fold. That little fold tells me that the outside, you know, where the V would come out, is where the fold is actually the top when it creates a mountain. So I'm just hooking these together with a 1/4-inch seam, just like anything else. I've actually seen borders done with bigger than 1/4-inch seams, which is kind of weird, but it's actually kind of smart, because borders is the stretchiest they can get out of whack and be funky and crooked and so on and so forth. So that's kind of smart. I don't do it, but I know other people do. All right, here's 3. Let's get 3 more. And let's hook to the last 3. I have to do this twice to create the border. And I might actually, on the outer piece, need just a little bit more to create my 45-degree angle that I'm going to create for the mitered ends. I mean, I could hook them together without mitering those ends, but I think it will look more clean being mitered, which is a little bit extra work, but if I get it just right, it should work just right. Okay. Yeah, have some honey and hot water. All right, those are made. So now we're going to attach. Let's see how long these actually are. They should be way longer than I need. Fold it in half again. Measure it in 4s. Even though I suck at math. All right, so let's fold it in half twice. They should all be about the same. Three, 62, 60, 70, 90, 100, and 8, 107, 107, 108, somewhere around there. Okay. So now, should have just made them super duper, these ones super duper longer, but I'll leave the end out. See how long it needs to be. I'm thinking I'm going to hook just one more segment to it and just see what happens. So I have plenty to go with. So I think I'm going to hook one more of those 5-piece segments. That way I have just 2. It'll be too long, and I want it to just line up. And this is just me kind of doing my own thing. So I'm going to hook one of these to each of these. So that way it's too long. I think that makes more sense in my head. That might be better. So let's hook one more to this one. So they should have, these sets will have 4 on them, and the other sets will have 3 plus an extra, because that top and bottom, once the sides are added, will be longer. This should line all right up once they're connected, because when you think about it, I'm making it wider, and then I need to make it longer. So let's hook to these 2 real quick. One more. In reality, it should be right. See, I never do like proper measurements and proper math. I just kind of go with it. And you guys can too. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of making it work. Just to make it work. And I still need to cut 12 more of those 12 more white strips out. Okay. These are a different size than those. Let's move these out of the way. And now we're going to sew one of these to each of these. And we're going to make it right sides together. And I'm not going to start it at the end. I'm actually going to start it down some because of the, you can see, so here's the white way up here. I'm going to start it down some just a little because I'm still going to, and I'm going to also leave a 1/4 inch seam open in case I need to add more pieces. So I'm just going to start down just a little bit and I'm going to hook them right sides together and make this really long seam. I'm just going to shoot all the way down like I'm hooking strips. Lining them up as I go. All the way down. And I'll leave that other end open too, just in case. I have some dog ears that from those pieces that we added. These should be the only ones. And the rest of the way to go. Nice. All the way down. Make sure that seam stays down. A lot of times I change my mind as I go. There's nothing wrong with that when you're building something. So if you are confused, it's because I'm changing my mind. Hey, hi, Aunt B. Sorry. You're sick, Vicky. Hope you feel better. Almost to the end. Almost. And I'll press all these once I'm finished building both sides. And again, I'm going to stop a little, probably a 1/4 inch away from this end right here. About right there. And I'm just going to break it. I'm not even going to bother with it as long as it's open in case I need to add more, which I'm hoping I won't have to, but we'll see. So these are the long ones. And these will be the shorter ones. So those will be the sides, and this will be the top and bottom. So as long as I don't mix that up, it should be good. Make sure it's right side up. And we'll add this one now. Again, I'm just going to start with it down some, as well as a 1/4 inch away, just in case I need to add more pieces. I'm highly doubting I'll need to, but if it's open, it won't matter. So I'm just going to start. I'm not even back tacking because in case I need to rip one off, then it's okay as well. I won't have much ripping to do. lining them up and sewing. And how I do that is I put one finger in between, using my thumb on top and my other fingers on the bottom, and I run it through, lining it with my fingers as I go. That's how I keep them nice and flush the whole time. And I have a flipping going on here. I gotta watch for my bobbin too, so I'm not sewing without knowing that I'm not sewing. I always run out of bobbin thread and then I'm sewing for like inches and not even realizing it. It happens all the time. I didn't roll any bobbins yet either. I should get some rolled because these are some long seams. So I have to do this 4 more times with 4 more strips. All 4 of these have to get both sides added with the white. All right, almost to the bottom of this one. And again, I'm going to be stopping like a 1/4 inch away, just in case I need to add more. So I left it open. It's nice and open. So these are the top and bottom. So we're going to leave that. Actually, I'll put these back here. That's the top and bottom. And these are the sides because they're shorter. So let's do these 2. And I'll keep this clear up here. That way I can add the other side because I got to cut them first. So eye surgery. Yeah, you need to be better before your eye surgery, Vicky. I always keep a wine glass full of rolled bobbins by my machine. I have my bobbins, but I have 1 left. I need to roll some. I usually roll the whole container filled, but I've been doing a lot of sewing. Well, not this week, but before this week I was doing a lot of sewing. So I go through the thread quite a bit. All right, let's do these now. Same procedure, just a little bit further down and also starting a 1/4 inch in. Not back stitching, sewing. Trying not to pull or stretch this because again, this is a very stretchy way of having it. And I'll press when I'm done. That way everything was nice and flat when I'm done. Honestly, I just don't want to have to get up and down, back and forth to the iron. I really do not feel good, so up and down is not what I want to do. one has a lot more hanging, so that's how I'll know that these are the sides and the other one is the top and bottom. But what I'm really just going to do is put the sides back behind me again. Hope everything goes well for you on 1650. I'll pray for you. Okay. Stay. It's trying to run away from me. Okay. I see all this stuff in my head and I'm like, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. And I am using a smaller stitch length. I know everyone uses bigger, but this is a pieced border. I don't want nothing falling apart at all. I want it to be really nice. Because, you know, when you hold a quilt up to show it, it stretches, it ruins it, you know, when you're showing your quilt tops before they've been quilted. So you're holding it from a border. I want it not to fall apart or stretch or anything. It's going to have one more border after this pieced border, but still, I don't want any movement, shifting. I don't want it to bow. I don't want anything to happen. I'm kind of glad that I added those pieces. Look, I haven't ran out of thread yet. Alright, coming to the end. I'm stopping with leaving it open, and I am not back stitching because I want to be able to rip it off if I need to rip it off. And back stitching makes it a little bit more harder. All right, so here are my sides. Now let's cut 12 more pieces off of the yardage. Which I just laid over here nicely. I'm going to ask where you purchased your long arm machine and are you happy with the customer service? Okay, so they don't, where I purchased, they ship it to you, you put it together all yourself. Unless you live local, it's California. SewingMachinesPlus is where I ordered it from. And I love my machine, but there is no customer service available. So if something happens, everything is on me to figure out how to go get it fixed, to figure out how to whatever. It's under warranty, so I can send it to them. My first shipment, if I send it to them, like if it broke right now, God forbid if it does, if it did break right now, I'm still under warranty for the next like 5 years or something like that. So my first ship it to them to fix is free. After that, it's all on me. Everything's all on me. Anything. I mean, they're there. They don't really have, I mean, I can't say it's an expert or not, the people that work on it, but mine is hold on a second, it's coming to me. King Quilter 2 Elite Special Edition is what my machine is. And it's very affordable. They have payment plans. They do have you can get the computer system for it. I don't have the computer system for mine, and maybe in the future, but I actually prefer to just do my own thing. I'm going to re-straighten this up because I did move it and it's not lined up just right. So I'm going to re-straighten that line back up. But yeah, they don't have, I mean, they have knowledgeable people, but it's not, I'm not dissing them or anything, but it's not what you would want for spending that much money, you know, over $10,000 on something. It's not the service that you would want for that kind of money, if that makes any sense at all. I mean, it could have been better. But yeah, they shipped it to me on a big freight trailer, and it's up to you at your house to do it. Put it together and have somebody there to even put it together for you. You end up making a bazillion phone calls to tech support, which most of them didn't know what I was even talking about when connecting something and hooking something up. And it was kind of a hassle in a way. So I would suggest what I would have done if I would have had the little bit extra money is go to a local dealer. Like my local dealer is for handy quilter machines, which is exactly the same as what I have, just a different name. I would suggest just going to a local dealer where they come and set it up for you. You watch how they do it, and you know, so on and so forth. I didn't have that luxury because obviously I was trying to save a little bit of money, and I have a husband and a son who can help set things up. So, I mean, if you're not worried about setting it up on your own, then that would be the way to go, is the way I went. Again, it was through SewingMachinesPlus. And if you live in California, they set up in California, but out of state, they do not. So I think they're out of San Diego, and there's another showroom at whatever, but they have tons of different machines. They have what I have, they have Baby Lock, they have Handy Quilter, they have all sorts of stuff. They don't have Gamel or anything like that. Gamel is specifically through Gamel dealers, but they have all sorts of stuff. They also have used machines on the showroom floor and stuff if you go to San Diego, California. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This piece border takes sure a lot of yardage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be 7 and 8. But yeah, I went through them. I had more options I could have done. Like I could have went with an Innova, but there's nowhere for me to even play with an Innova to even know. And what I chose is just like handy quilters. So I played with the handy quilter machines at my local shop. I was just trying to save some money. Don't want to make payments for the rest of our lives, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. I keep counting because my brain is not really working like it's supposed to today. Definitely do not feel well, but I need to get this done. All right. Okay, we're going to do the same procedure, getting rid of the selvages. And look, that's all the yardage I have left. I'm glad I only decided to do the sides with this fabric. Okay, hold on, where are we at? Yep. Hello, yep, I'm going to hop on a plane and get one. Hop on a plane and get one. And you're welcome for the info. Like I said, it's not the perfect customer service, but I mean, they help as much as they can. The lady was really nice to me on the phone. All of the service guys were nice to me. The service manager contacts me right away. And it was easier when I ordered my Juki. I ordered my Juki from them too. And it was so much easier because that frame was easy to put together, the mid-arm frame. And the Juki is either on the frame or off the frame. So it just went on a tray. So it was a lot easier with that setup. But the setup for the Juki was not meant to be on a frame, which is what nobody understands. And I've said that in plenty of my videos back when I had just that setup. Mid-arm, like this size, is not meant to be on a frame. The machine itself is not meant to be moved around. It's meant to be a stationary machine. So it did not work like I had hoped when I first purchased it. All right, I'm just getting rid of the selvages because I'm going to do the same procedure with this whole straight seam. I want that straight seam on both sides. And the reason for that is for suspension of stretching. We don't want any of this to stretch because it is pieced. So again, I'm just going to hook 3, 3, and 3, and so on and so forth. All right, so 3, this should be 3, 3, and 3. Yep. So I'm going to hook these together in groups of 3 again, and then just sew them together. I really have to squint to look that far. Okay. I mean, it's not far. It's actually a big screen right there. You guys have seen it when I showed you. It's a pretty big screen when the computer is on it. At least for a computer screen. You know. I can watch movies just fine. Just can't read the tiny little comment section. So yeah, when it comes to buying a long arm, I would personally suggest shopping around. That's what I did. That's the best way to go about it. Make sure you know what you want before you get it, because yeah, and I personally, since we've had to set it up on our own, personally, I would say I would have probably preferred to have someone come do it for us, because it was a hassle. Like, it really was. There was so much work involved, and we have it in a hot garage, so setting it up in a hot garage. And we set it up in the winter because I got it in the winter, and it was still hot out there, sweating our butts off trying to put this thing together. And there's screws numbered this and named that and ABC'd this, and I really had trouble getting the snappies correct because they labeled them wrong. So I mean, so many things can go wrong if you just have to do it yourself, so, or be set up wrong. So it's best to just go through a company. But all else aside, everything else, having it, I did so many quilts last year. So many quilts. It was so much easier than having to either sit in free motion, or the fact that it took me forever to do it with this when this was on its frame. Because this had a lot of problems being on a frame. It hated it. It did not like being on a frame, so I was constantly struggling with it. I mean, I still got a lot of stuff done, but the upgrade was 100% better. And I still sold my old frame, so you can still sell the old stuff if you have to, you know. But I now can literally, I am a small person, I can literally fit inside the throat of my new machine. There would be no way you'd see me trying to fit through this. In my King quilter, I can literally put my body through the machine. So that goes to show how much more room I have. I can't even put my head through this, you know, so that goes right there. It shows how much room is available. All right, since they're right behind me, we're going to do the side pieces first. Hi, Marla. Today is just chit chat while I make the Mariner Star. So those of you who are joining or watching and not talking, just know I'm really not trying to chit chat the whole time. I mean, I'm kind of giving directions, but if you guys ask questions and stuff, I'll see it. I'm not personally 100% paying attention, if that makes any sense. I'm trying. I don't feel good, so there's going to be a lot of stop breaks today. Off and on, so each video will get numbered, but if someone catches the last, they'll still catch the next, you know what I mean? They'll be numbered, and I'll link them all in the description with all the other videos, so that way it's easy to follow the timeline of putting this quilt together. I'm just finger pressing these. I'm trying not to use my nail because I keep breaking what's growing, and it sucks. All right, so now I'm going to come to this top, and I'm going to connect this other side. So this one now, how I kept it separate, but see how it's level? I'm going to put the next piece level with this top piece right here, but I'm still going to start about a 1/4 inch away, because if I have to add, I want that to be open, or if I want to pick, I want it to be open. So we're going to put this part right sides together. Now that I've finger pressed it, I'm not pressing anything until I'm completely done building it as well. So I'm just going to come lay it right here. It's flush with this other piece. I'm just going to start about a 1/4 inch down. And I'll probably have a couple little seams that are going to fold under here, but I really don't care. That'll come out when I press. And again, I'm just going to stick my first finger underneath, my thumb on top, and the rest of my fingers under this next piece. And I use my thumb like this to move my piece back and forth to keep it all adjusted. And I usually keep my hand right here at the end of the machine tray, the extension table. Now that I'm sewing on the white with white thread, I'm going to have a hard time seeing when I run out of bobbin thread. I try to flip as many seams as I can, though. There's a couple of them that aren't going the correct way. Just keep lining it as I go. Try to throw it mostly on the floor, and my fingers will straighten it as it comes up to me. I didn't press anything yet. Some people have to press in between each step, but I just don't want, I don't have the energy to keep getting up and down. It really hurts. I'm having a horrible day. I watched you last night. Awesome. Yep. Last night was so Sunday. Today is get this Mariner Star out of the way so that I can start the new series with the Minecraft. I'm going to teach the Minecraft quilt. For those of you who have grandkids who love Minecraft, I'm going to do my best to teach that, whether it's live stream or video recording. I'm still going to teach it. At least the blocks that I'm doing in the quilt that I'm making. And I'm also, when that's finished, I'm going to teach the Elsa quilt. My design, I will teach. So whether it's live feed or making a video, either way, I'm going to show you guys the process of all of this stuff. That's why I announced it yesterday with the chit chat, because I know a lot of you like those kind of things for grandkids. So I'm doing it with Elsa, the Elsa one, but you guys can do it with anything. Take that design and work it with whatever, you know, fabric choice. Just for the ideas of it. As soon as all 4 of these are made, then I'll press them. As long as I don't get them out of order. Okay, I'm coming up to the end. I'm going to stop about a 1/4 inch away in case I need to add or pull anything. So I left it open. So that's why this is not connected on both ends. I left it open in case I have to add. I'm hoping I won't have to, but we'll see. So these are the sides. I put this one behind me. Let's grab this one now. And again, I'm just going to finger press it. I'm sewing them all in the same direction as well. It's such a long seam, I don't think it's going to matter. I'm just going to finger press it open to the best of my ability, just so that it's flat when I lay the white on top to sew it. Plus I want my seam to be as best to the center as possible, which is the dark colors. Hi Teresa, welcome back. Forgot I was coming back, yeah. That's okay if you guys miss anything. This is gonna be, I don't know how many more times I'm gonna need to take breaks. I really needed to earlier, the last one. But it's a bad day for me and I still have to get things done. I know a lot of you have done that where you feel absolutely horrible, but when things got to get done, like people that work still, regular jobs, you have to go to work. You can't call in once a week to say, hey, I need a day off because I don't feel good. They're going to say, really? And you'll need a doctor's note every time, which gets expensive, going to the doctors every time you're sick. So, I mean, when you got to do it, you just push through. And this has to get done because I need it to be completely ready to be the first quilt to go on the long arm when the weather changes. This is the first one because this customer ordered a long time ago. So it has to be done. And everybody knows that gets quilts made by me. They know that it takes a long time to make a quilt. Some take me 2 weeks, some take me 6 months or more, And one quilt, the one that's on my bed, it was just because I did a lot of, just free motioning on it when I felt like it, to try out new designs. That took me 3 years to do. Still took me 3 years, whether it would have normally or not. It took me that long to complete it. So some quilts take forever. Is it going to cool off enough for you to quilt in the garage? Yes, I don't feel free to take it. By the 15th, I'm hoping, that's my goal date, is the 15th. From what online and the weather.com thing said, that's my goal, to be able to quilt this. And I'm going to try. My new phone does not fit the mount that I had on my long arm for the camera to hook to so you guys can watch me quilt. I mean, maybe I can get Scott to hold the camera for a little while here and there and just kind of record some of the process of quilting it. But until I get a new mount connector, I kind of can't record the long arming process of any quilt right now. I'm going to need a new mounts for the phone to work, because any quilting, you guys know that in the description below, there is a group on Facebook. For those of you who are new and don't know about this, there is a group. I do long arm quilting videos in the group as opposed to on here. After I hit 1,000 subscribers, then I will be able to do long arm quilting from live streaming here. But on Facebook, it has way better quality video than YouTube does for long arm quilting out in the garage. So until I hit 1,000 subscribers, all long arm quilting is in the Facebook group. So just know that for people who watch my videos. So anything that's going to be quilted on this will be done from the group, unless I can record the process and someone holds the camera until I get a new mount, because I don't even know how to find a new mount for this camera, but we'll see. Anyways, back to sewing. And believe it or not, I still have bobbin thread. And now that I said it, it's going to run out soon. Uh-oh. I hate when that happens. You guys get to watch me pick, because I just realized that I am not sewing right sides together. I don't know how that one happened, but it did. It happened. It happens. Good thing I didn't get very far before I realized it. And I open the seam to pick. I don't know why I do that. To me, it seems easier because these are smaller stitches. And then I just yank, snip, yank, snip. It'll take me a minute. I didn't get very far, but glad I realized I was doing that. That's what happens with this white on white tonal fabric. Oh my goodness. Every time I get it, I get one or two pieces that I accidentally sew on backwards. And sometimes I just leave it, but there are other times, like right now, because this is a very fancy quilt, that I have to pick it out. Oh, my goodness. It's going to take me a minute. It's going to get all stretched. It will be beautiful. Happy Veg. Must be a season change. It will be a beautiful quilt. Customer will be happy. Yes, she's already ecstatic. She's like, she's seen the process. When she got out of her coma, she didn't know where I would be or if it would be done. She was really excited to know my progress. And so that's why I rushed to get the top together so that she can see what it looks like. All she knew was the color palette, and she kind of didn't really remember too much from the beginning when I chose everything. So it was a nice surprise to wake up from a coma and after seeing family and friends to finally get to see the progress of her quilt. This wasn't because I was putting anything off either. I mean, it took a long time because of all that boo-boos that was wrong with the pattern. But either way, she's seen the top together now. And I had to go over to her house and measure her bed because she has one of those really, really, really thick mattresses with a mattress topper to top it off. So it gives her a mattress that's like this thick. So I had to, that's why the borders are being done the way they are, because I'm trying to get as close to, I need about 115 inches or so, because just to have a little bit of a good hangover to cover the box spring a little, you know, even though she has one of those dust ruffly things, I still want it to come down to the proper size at the bottom and hang over just right. I thought about it in a smart way, you know, when I started putting this thing together. And I know that I can comfortably put 120 inches. I have 136 or 131. It's one of those numbers. I don't remember now. Me and Scott measured. My cloth leaders are like 100 and something inches, 130 something. And comfortably, I can put 120 inches on that frame very comfortably. I still have room to put my machine on the side and have full access to the bobbin area and so on and so forth. Although I still change my bobbins by just grabbing it out from under if I'm in the middle of something. I did that with this too. As long as you know where it is, it's not that hard to get those bobbins out and change them on a long arm. I guess you get used to it after a while. But yeah, so I wanted to make sure this at least reaches 115 at best. That way there's plenty of hangover for her bed. So that's why it's getting this pieced border first. She wanted a plain border. I said I can't end it with just a plain border because then it would look funky and it would take, the border would draw your eye with a plain border. It would have just drawn your eye to bland ending. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't have looked right because it's pieced so fancily. Being so fancy like that, you want to put a nice fancy border on it too, you know? It makes more sense. All right, let's pull all this out. I don't want any of this sticking out. So I'm making sure everything I do correlates with what I've already done, if that makes any sense. We want it to look really nice. It is a show quilt. It deserved a show quilt border. You know, even though it's not being taken to a show, it's actually going to sit on a bed, but I know if I ask her in advance, then I can take it to any quilt show that I want to, show it off here, there, and everywhere. So I just have to ask in advance. I'm just pulling out all these extra threads. I don't want them ending up in the seam. All right, let's make sure we got this right sides together now. All right, that's the right side. That's the right side. There we go. Okay. Yep. Can't believe I just did that. I was sewing for nothing. And I can tell already that that ripping has stretched my fabric just a little bit, which sucks. It's the only thing about, that's why I said to do the borders like this with straight edges, because it's the smartest way to keep it from bowing. I don't want any stretch in it. And it already is stretched because of picking just now. There's no other way to pick it properly. Because I seem to sew with a tighter stitch. Hi, June. Lovely surprise you're on. Just seeing off, sort of. Grandchildren as they return to school on Wednesday. Well, I'm here and it'll be off and on until this is complete. Well, like it says in the description, whether I feel good or bad, I'm going on because this has to get done. And I didn't want to just stop with only showing you guys building the top. I wanted you to see me building borders. I want the whole process documented in video. I mean, there's a couple things that didn't get recorded, but for the most part, most of it has been recorded. CJ back in school. Not today, but yeah, he's in school. School goes back in August here. In the beginning of August. Which is kind of retarded because it's still 117, 116, 115 degrees in August. Hello. And the kids have to walk home in that. I mean, there's AC at school, but not every kid has a car, and not every kid has a license to even get a car, and not every parent picks up their kids. So if you think about it, they're out in the heat in the hottest part of the day because school gets out at 2:30. Think about it. It's like the most stupidest time to send kids back to school. When I lived in California, school went back in September. But in the beginning of August, the stupidest thing, but whatever. CJ at first, though, was getting rides from his sister to school. So that helps to keep him out of the sunshine too much. He's such a little white boy, you know, so his face turns so beet red when he's walking home from school. Just being out in that heat. And their school shirts are black, white, purple, and gold. Nobody ever wears the gold, but wearing a black shirt because they have to wear school shirts and pants with no holes or anything and shorts with no holes or anything. Wearing all of that, you know, in the heat with the black, it draws more sun to you and makes you more hotter. Retarded. I mean, they could choose to wear white school shirts in the summer, but if you're wearing the same color every day, it looks like you've never changed your clothes. All right, last bobbin, and then I'm going to roll a bunch. So I'll sew until this one's out, and then roll a ton real quick while we're hanging out. He wears a cap. He wears a hat. Doesn't help much, not here. I mean, it does, sort of, but he has long hair now, so it's about as long as mine is. He's growing it to donate it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, you guys know I have the burping problem right now. Doesn't don't go away. I'm trying my best to keep them silent. All right, coming to the end. I'm going to stop a 1/4 inch away. I'm not back tacking or anything. I'm just cutting the thread and being done. So this is the side. So these are the two sides. Now let's do the top and bottom, which are behind me. Again, I'm just going to finger press it open. Trying not to use my nail. I always use my nail, but my nails break so easily. The finger pressing helps when you get to the iron. 100% it helps. By the time you get to the iron, it's mostly flat, which is what you're looking for anyway, so that you don't have no folds or puckers. Or this is such a long seam, you know, you're going to be trying to flip it the whole time. If you just finger press it, it helps by the time you get to the iron. I'm just opening it up. You guys have seen many other YouTubers do this and other channels. It just helps. And I'm going to go back again and tell you the reason why I did the straight piecing instead of piecing a 45-degree angle on the borders on the outside of this, which would have been the more logical thing to do because this is a 45-degree angle, but I pieced it with a straight seam. Reason for that is because if I would have done a 45-degree angle, this already stretches. We don't want this side to stretch. This is our, it's like our stop. So there is barely any, you can see that this side is stretching and this side is straight, see? So it's 100% keeping this nice and flush once it's sewn in. And since it's in between two pieces that are straight line pieced, it prevents the whole thing from stretching. I don't want any stretch, and you won't either if you're doing pieced diamond borders like this. You need something on each side to prevent that stretch from going any further. So this side right here is the side that's, you can see it. Once it's sealed off and I have a straight seam on both sides, then I won't have any stretch in that center, and it should lay 100% flat. And then it'll get one more border, which will help also, you know what I mean? All right, let's make sure this is right sides together before I sew. So I'm gonna make sure this is facing upward. My seam. Just don't want it to, I don't need no more unpicking. I'm starting a 1/4 inch down in case I have to add more diamonds. I don't think I'm going to have to, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure I have just enough length on both sides. 1, 2, 3, you need the ball. Okay, let's see. Gotta go. We'll catch the rest later. Oh, that's fine. Like I said, I don't care how many of you guys jump in and out. If you do or you don't. This is just me doing my thing. So trying to get it done and record the process. Do what you gotta do. I wasn't expecting a bunch of people to watch. And I'm not really expecting to talk much. And if I do talk, it's direction, you know. I mean, I'm still reading the comments, but if I don't see them all, it's because I'm really not paying attention to that. Just doing this. This is keeping me from having to record and edit a video. Or videos, plural, because this is so far 2 videos. It would have only been 1 if I recorded it, but unfortunately I had to go on that first one. Do any of you or anybody that's watching this later want to make this? I think I've said what book I bought a bazillion different times, so I just know that the book is wrong. Or maybe it's not wrong, it's right. It could just be that it's being read wrong, I guess. I don't know. But the page that it says the wrong stuff is like right there at the beginning of the pattern. It says based on, so. But at least there's direction to making it if you want to. It'd be nice to know if some of you are going to make it. I know it's a little bit out of beginner realm, like more than out of the beginner realm. It's in the advanced quilter stages. Not only does it have tons of Y seams, it has 45-degree angles everywhere. It has curved seams. Everything is connected with a Y seam, like the whole quilt top. And it has templates. A lot of people don't use templates yet. I mean, it does have a little bit of all the stuff for people that have been doing hard stuff. But I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments below, for those of you who watch later, if this is something that you would want to try. I mean, no hurt in trying. I can do my best to share with you all the correct measurements and everything, which I have pretty much this whole time. All right, next one. Wasn't really paying attention. I'm hoping all these ends are different. They should be. And I'm making sure that my seam is being pressed in towards the middle, because that's the darkest colors, and this white on white is kind of, I don't know. I don't want no seams, the dark colors to be showing through this white on white. It is on the top just a little bit, but that was only because I could not prevent the seam from going the other way. Sometimes I use the palm, sometimes I use my fingernail. I don't want to use my fingernail, but I want it the best folded back. And this does not stretch your fabric doing this, by the way. Some people have asked that before. I don't know if I've ever answered it, but it doesn't stretch it or anything when you finger press. Plus, when you iron, if you did stretch anything, it's going to go right back into place from ironing. All right, so let's grab this end, make sure that's facing up towards me. Correctly look one more time. Line it up and sew on down. So you guys both say it's going to be too hard. Now, you would say something different if I said, I'm coming to your house. What do you want to make? If I said something like that, then you'd be like, oh, I want to make that now, because you're here to show me how it's done in person. So if I was a traveling teacher, then you would change your minds and want to do these kind of things. Because accomplishing this makes everything so much better. Like, even though I feel like crap, the fact that this quilt looks like it does and came out like it did, yeah, I feel so happy and amazed. It makes me feel good, which takes away my pain. It doesn't take it away, it just masks it better. Because I feel good about myself. I've done something that most people won't do, can't do, don't want to do, or, you know, that feeling makes it all better. So you would have that too if I could come to you. Hey, a comment came in while I was trying to read because she deserves it. You come here and I'll buy fabric and you can cut and sew. I told her it would be worth buying her airline ticket to have her come. Yes. You know, if I could travel, I would. If I could travel, guys. But I gotta get over this whole staying away from home thing. Conquered. It's not like making a quilt, you know, I can just come in here and do it. If I have to be away from home, there's different things that run through my mind. My brain goes wacky, crazy. Yeah. I get over my anxiety of travel, then you guys can pay for as many tickets as you need for me to come to where you are. And I will stay and we can complete awesome projects. I don't think Scott would mind either. He's like, yeah, go hang out with your friends for a month. A month. That'd be a long time. Okay. Number 4 done. Now let's just turn the camera and press all these. So these are the top and bottom. Those are the sides. So let's not mess these up because I want to make sure everything stays where it's supposed to stay. So let's press and turn it down just a little. So here's my disaster going on. Plug me in, Mr. Iron. Need some water. I kind of always fill my iron over the line. Bad habits, bad habits. But that's okay. All right, let's move all this out of the way. I can read when I'm this close to the screen. All right, let's pick up this heavy beast. Throw it right there on the floor. So these are the top and bottom. Let's see if I can keep remembering that. So to press, what I'm going to do is one side is already folded in, but we're going to go ahead and go over that, making sure that everything's tucked under. So, and then this side we want to fold under this. I know this looks funky, but that seam is going to go the way I want it to go. So I'm just going to do that first. And that's already pressed with my finger, so it just goes really quick this way. Not pulling or tugging. Now let's push this one in. Oh, okay, there goes the pulling and tugging. I did not want to do that. Let's just make sure that seam is in the way I want it. It's not right there. There we go. Now it is. Mr. Steamy here is definitely talking today. It's a lot of border to press, ladies. A lot of border to press. I'm telling you that this iron is a left-handed iron, by the way. I've said that a bazillion times. It keeps getting stuck at the end of my table. It always is pulling. Hey, Jess. I feel like crap. but I'm working because I need to get my customer quilt done so that I can work on the other two that got orders that came in. What are you doing? Just sitting around? Are you driving and watching? Like, not driving and watching, but driving and listening. Hi, Gina. Yes, we got it fixed later that night. Stay. It doesn't help that I didn't connect my ends, but that's for a reason. See that? Just wanted to fold out. I don't want that to fold out. Try and keep it nice and flush. And then once I get this side pressed, I'm going to flip it over. Make sure that whole entire seam goes in. See what I'm saying? The seam goes in. We want that through the whole thing. I don't want any of this color showing. Okay. That whole side. My iron is leaking out nastiness. Oh, look at that. It came out really good. All right, so this was the top again. So I got to keep saying that over and over and over. Yeah.
You need anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you. Okay, so this is a top. So we're going to lay this down here on the floor. Just remember that that's a top. And this next one is a top. I think I'm just going to press from the back. Push the border back first on this back side. And then press from the front to get all the folds and pleats that I know is going to happen out of it. Blah, blah, blah. Where did they go? Did the deadline get moved up? No. I want to be able to quilt it on the 15th if the weather is what it says it's going to be online. So I want it done because I have two other customer quilts now that have deadlines. This one doesn't really have a deadline, but I want it done because this came in first with order-wise. And she deserves to have it done by now. So instead of me lollygagging even when I don't feel good, it's best to just get it done, whether I don't feel good or not. So I'm making sure that these get made. Just pressing from the back for both. Screw it. Make it easier for myself. So no, I want to get it done. That's the whole point, Justin. So that you know. Just want it done. Plus I still have, see, if the faster I get this one done, I have the quilts that are for quilt show. For the quilt show that I'm entering, I have to get those done too. Those weren't quilted yet. They're just, well, there's one that's going to the quilt show that's done and quilted, but the rest of them are not. I need to get those done. So the faster I get all the customer stuff done, the faster I can get everything I need to get done by October 1st, which it needs to be submitted by October 1st. I can't have it waiting. You know, it has to be done by October 1st. So that means I need to at least finish it by the end of September. So hopefully I can get at least 2 of the quilts that are going to Quilt Show complete. That way I'm not worrying about it and not being able to enter anything. I need to be able to enter. Well, you've seen one of them. One is that one I designed called Flying Home. That's one that's going to the quilt show. I just need to put a hanging sleeve on it. It's the only thing that's not on it, but that shouldn't take me long. Other than that, the big my diamond quilt that I did, the one that's called A Girl's Best Friend, that one was supposed to be done last year because I never got it on the frame before the heat came. So that one, and then my big, huge star quilt, that one I wanted to go to the quilt show too. But again, that's probably not going to get done in time because that one's a king and I still have to buy all the stuff for it, backing and thread, and I don't want to overwhelm myself too much. All right, this is the top and bottom pieces. Again, this is the next one. So let's fold this up, lay it on the floor. And now let's press the side pieces. Okay, I'm just going to do this from the back again. Make it easy on myself. Seems to be working better from the back. And it went quicker. What do you mean? For the quilt show? No biggie. I'm doing my fancy ones for the quilt show. It'll be time for me to start using my truck pulley. I'm excited to start using it again. Yeah, once the summer is over. I'm using mine on my bed, but then I'm using it inside with AC, so technically that's not a bad thing. I'm not really stretching this, by the way, guys, just so any of you think that I am. I'm really not. Just making sure that the seam is folding. That's why I'm pressing from the back and the top. Everybody presses different. I just do whatever works, honestly. One side was already pre-finger pressed, so it should lay really nice. Oh, and Justin, I wouldn't want to put hanging sleeves on your quilt, so I wouldn't really want to enter those, but I have quilts to enter. I just need to get them quilted. Stay. All right. So I don't know how I'm going to manage this whole miter thing without measuring my border first. But we're going to see in a minute because I'm almost done with this one and I got one more to press and then we'll figure it out. I might have to leave for a little while, go into the living room. I can't take my live stream in the living room. I mean, I can, but it's going to be too much of a hassle. I could just go do that measurement real quick to make sure I'm accurate with my next cut and then come back on live in a little while. It's laying super flat, which is good. That's what we want. And the last border that's going on, I'm not going to miter it. I'm just going to attach it like I would any other. So I'm going to fold these ones right side in. The other ones are right side out. And fold these right side in so I can remember that these are the side pieces. If I need to ask you guys which ones are the sides and which ones are the top and the bottom, then you guys can say, oh, it was the ones that you folded right side in. Yeah, this is the border. Like what? Hold on. Monday in a couple of years there. And here now your quilt has took its place. And to think you're going to have yet another one of my quilts, Justin, as soon as that gets finished. Hey, speaking, since you're right there, actually, did you find any more of those things that we're looking for? The fabric? Can't believe that we got the wrong ones. Obviously, you know I don't spend a lot of time playing around shopping online. I'm pretty sure you don't either, but you're probably better at finding things than I am. You at least found the fabric line. I didn't. See how I'm doing that? Just spreading it with my fingers and pulling it back. When I press it from the top, that fold, or any fold, should be gone. And this stupid left-handed iron is not helping me. All my fabric shops been looking through, but they sell the 10-inch squares. Oh, yep, we can't do it with 10-inch squares. I mean, I can make a totally different border with the 10-inch squares, but I'm just change it up a little bit. I was really hoping to just make more blocks. See now that you can see that that's starting to bow. Didn't want that. So when I press from the top, I'm going to use lots of steam to take that away. So we don't want any bowing. We need these to be flat. Flat, flat, flat. So here's where I have a bowing coming on. So what I'm going to do is flatten it. Lots of steam. So see, taking it away right there. Right there. See? Now it's straight again. There's a little bit of bowing going on right here. Be careful when the fabric is hot. Don't burn yourselves when you're making stuff or anything. I have a little bit of a bow right there. So let's tackle that now. Look at that. Nice and straight. Ta-da! Okay. So, there we go. This will be right side, because this is the side. Sides will be laying right sides together. That, nice and straight. Okay. Let me turn the camera back up, because those are the sides. Okay. Here we go. All right, guys, so I'm going to stand back real quick. So now we have the sides. So what I'm going to do, just to show you real quick, I'm going to try to hold this up like this. Grab one of these like this so that you can see what it is I am doing. So that will be how that first border goes on. Okay, so now what I need to do to have these have a 45-degree angle, making sure that it's long enough. Hold on a second. Gotta look at it right here at the fold. Oh yeah, it's hanging down pretty far. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably just take this out to the living room, take an accurate measurement, since I did cut it in 4s, but it should be fine. And then when attaching these, I'm going to attach them with pins from the center out. This project has so many pins being used. I'm going to attach it from the center of it out to each side and leave. I'm going to attach my top and bottom first, cutting my 45-degree angle first before that. So I'm going to come back when I'm ready to attach these and show you guys how these mitered edges work. But for now, I'm going to leave for just a little bit. I'm probably going to eat after I'm done taking my measurements. I'll eat real quick, but let's get this done. So here's half of it. So I'm going to go do a couple things and then I'll come back and we'll finish it up. Hopefully get those borders on, because the last border should be the easiest. It's going to be like, I think I bought enough fabric to have 4 inches. I was going to cut them at 4.5 inches to go around for the last border, but that I'm not going to piece. I mean, it seems kind of weird to have a mitered border and then another border that's not mitered, but the rest of all that comes together at angles. So why not angle that first border? The second one, I don't think it's going to matter because it's a heavy print. So, so those are what it's going to look like together. Let me get those measurements done, eat some food, and then I'll come back and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Don't forget, if you're new, subscribe, ring that bell, get notifications when I'm on, and we will, and like my videos. And we will come back with some more of the Mariner's Star Quilt. Bye, guys.